Hello, hello, everybody. How you doing? We're here talking about Doctor Who. Sure, we're muted. All right. All right. So, how's everybody doing? We're going to talk about Doctor Who. We're going to talk about why I think the show is going in the wrong direction, and I think it's for a little more than a gimmick, really. So, to let people know my background with Doctor Who, okay, I had a friend who got me into Doctor Who. This friend had virtually every Doctor Who story that was available. And there's some that have been lost because the BBC did a terrible job of storing its early film when television started and stuff like that. And so there are a lot of Doctor Who recordings and stuff that got lost, because they got destroyed essentially. But I've seen pretty much all that's available out there. Okay, there might be a couple things maybe that I haven't seen, or a few things maybe, or some, ultra secret stuff maybe that I haven't seen. But for the most part, all the episodes I've seen, and stories I've seen. That being said, the show is now going in a direction that they're claiming that Time Lords change gender, which, is whatever. I mean, who would really care? But the thing is that this show has 45 years of history before now. 45 years that has never happened. So number one, it seems like a gimmick because they're making it up as they go along. It's never happened before. The only time it did happen was in a Comedy Central spoof where the story was written by Stephen Moffat, of all people, folks. You know him. He was the guy who came on as the executive producer after Russell T Davies moved on, right? Stephen Moffat ran the show for many years there. And he was the one that wrote the story for this Comedy Central, story that they did. Okay, and he made the Doctor's final regeneration a woman. Okay, but that's the only time. That is the only time it has ever happened. Okay. Several bones to pick with this recent decision they've made, and one of them is I've been a Doctor Who fan for a long, long time, and I'm deeply rooted in the old Doctor Who. Hartnell, Troughton, Pertwee, Baker, Davidson, Baker again, McCoy, Paul McGann, right? Those are the original ones, right? Paul McGann was in the New Year's special, for those of you who don't know. Anyway, those are the Doctors that I knew, and I've seen all the stories. Now, that's the way I know Doctor Who. And the thing is that there were some really, really cool time ladies, as you might say, right, in the original series. Two very, very cool ones were Romana, who was actually a companion to the Doctor. She was a fellow Time Lord that he picked up when he was on Gallifrey, the home planet of the Time Lords, right? He picks her up. She tags along with him, and they become the best companions or whatever, right? Until she eventually leaves in E-space and that sort of stuff. Anyways, the thing is she was awesome, totally awesome, and that's one possible, time Lord, time lady they could bring back. Then there's also the Ronnie. The Ronnie was more of a nemesis. The Ronnie was more of an enemy, right? But she was still way cool. She was a scientist. The Ronnie was just a scientist, and she was a bit of a mad scientist. So the reason why the Doctor would generally have to get involved when he found the Ronnie is because she was usually doing some really heinous experiments that were exploiting the population of a planet or a region, and that sort of stuff. So he would have to step in. But the Ronnie was always a really, really cool villain. The thing is that the actress that played the Ronnie, recently she passed away. She was actually very famous. She was also on, I believe, Dallas, the late night soap opera, Dallas. She was actually a popular character on there and stuff. She was actually very famous, and when she passed away, that would have been a good chance for Doctor Who, since they were so itching to get a female Time Lord involved, right? That they could have brought in somebody to be the Ronnie, and they could have done like this tribute to the actress. I forget her name right now. I'm so sorry about that. But they could have done this tribute to the actress and stuff and whatever, and they could have introduced a really, really cool Time Lady, but they didn't do that. Instead, they're going with this whole thing of they're making the Master and the Doctor both change gender. It's never happened before, and yet now they're both doing it at the same time. And all this stuff. It's just so bizarre, and there's no precedent for it. They keep saying that there is. And the reason why is because they know that their new viewing audience most likely hasn't seen all of the old Who. Or at least hasn't seen a lot of it, and so they're gonna be more easily fooled, But those of us who, like me, who know they're full of crap, just think that this is a gimmick, that they're trying to curry favor with a certain crowd, which I have no problem with. I mean, I have no problem with transgender and LGBT community, all that, LGBTQ community and all that sort of stuff. I have no issue with that. None. But it feels like maybe somebody here is catering to that community by changing Doctor Who for me in a drastic way. Let me explain to you guys why when I heard about this, what immediately went through my mind when I heard about this. Number one, I thought about what it was like pre-2000. Right? Doctor Who had gone off the air in 1980s. There was no new episodes. I got into Doctor Who in like the mid-90s. Okay? And then we get to 2000 and we have the Millennium Special, the New Year's Special with Paul McGann or whatever. But that was it. But and when I would try to talk to other people like my brother or people that I knew, because they knew I was into sci-fi and they were but they weren't sure, they were kind of getting into it kind of stuff. So my brother would talk to me about Doctor Who, and the most difficult thing about explaining Doctor Who to people was trying to get their heads around the idea of regeneration and what it is and what happens and what it means. It was very, very difficult to do that. So that's what immediately went through my mind when I heard this, because I was like, it was difficult enough to try to explain Doctor Who to people, back before it got popular again, when there wasn't the added wrinkle of saying, oh, by the way, they can also switch genders, so the Doctor can be a man or a woman all throughout the show. I mean, to me, it just makes things more confusing. You're more referring to the Doctor or Time Lords as a he, she, really, because they can literally now can be either one. It just adds a complexity that I think that just, that I thought, I used to think back in the days when I was just trying to explain just regeneration all by itself, just trying to get that idea across to somebody, and to now have the added wrinkle of gender changing. I don't know. That was the immediate thought that came to me, and I was just like, and why aren't we bringing back some of the really, really cool female Time Lords or Time Ladies that were in the show in the past? Why are we not bringing back some of those really cool characters? And so that's why I'm having such a bone to pick with this new direction for Doctor Who. Is it I don't know. It just seems like, for the reasons I've stated, it seems like a bad idea. But then I'm trying to figure out what would have caused it in the first place. But anyway, let me check out the chat for a minute. Who is Truth Monster, and why did you say? I knew you were going to hate on the woman doctor. I don't hate on her. I mean, the actress is fine. You know, I actually haven't seen it yet, but for me, I have no issue with the actress. You know, for me, it's more of the continuity of the Doctor Who timeline is really being turned upside down, really. But, you know, whatever. That's fine. I'll tell you what. I miss RTD. I miss Russell T Davies now. I do. I would have much rather seen some of the really, really cool characters of the past come back and interact with the Doctor, like in the past, and with the Master even, because the Ronnie does tango with the Master and the Doctor in one story. All three of them are. It's a good story. It's an excellent story. I mean, why they are avoiding doing something like bringing back Romana or the Ronnie in favor of this? I don't know. By the way, the Ronnie has a TARDIS, folks. She has a TARDIS she has her own TARDIS, right? So, and Romana probably has built herself one by this point as well, over in E-Space. So, like I said, it's not hating on the woman doctor, it's not hating on the actress, it's not hating on any of that. It's, for me, I feel it's poor decision making. It makes things more complicated, kind of unnecessarily, especially considering you have these really, really cool characters from the past of Old Who, and they're getting ignored, so that, you know, whatever's happening currently. I mean, it's just odd to me. I don't know why. To me, think it's just specious decision making, I think. Mm-hmm. I love Rose. Yeah, Rose was awesome. Eccleston was awesome. David Tennant, Matt Smith. I even liked Peter Capaldi. I loved Peter Capaldi because Peter Capaldi he was actually what the Doctor was. That's what the Doctor really is most of the time supposed to be. He's supposed to be this kind of grumpy, arrogant guy who just likes to have people around to go, ooh, when he does something cool. That's the whole idea of the Doctor. And so that's what they were getting back to with Peter Capaldi. And especially when what's it called? Clara leaves or whatever, right? When she leaves and he gets what is it, Joe? When he gets the girl that was the companion for that final season there with Capaldi when he was blind and all that stuff, right? And so with her, it really got back to that because she had less history with the Doctor. Like, you know, Clara had a fair amount of history with the Doctor, and she could hold her own with him, more. Whereas Joe was new and didn't have that ability. So we got to really see Peter Capaldi really being like the Doctor was meant to be, the way that the character was designed originally. So anyway, does Doctor Who travel in a phone booth? Yes, it's actually a special kind of phone booth that you don't actually see very often now in Britain anymore. But back in the 50s and 60s when the show started, were very common, called a police box. They had a phone in it for police to be able to phone into the headquarters or whatever. And they were also highly useful as a place they could shove a criminal into and lock it and keep them contained. So, yes. Called the TARDIS. Yep. Erekose. Erekose, it's 2019. Don't be sexist. Yeah, I knew somebody was going to say that. It's not about being sexist. Like I said, I would love to see them bring back some of these very, very cool time ladies from Old Who. I would love to see it. I've been wishing they would do that. I've been wishing they would do that now for about 4 years. Was hoping to see Romana, hoping to see the Ronnie, hoping, and then I get this. Right? So don't tell me I'm being sexist. I love seeing a time lady with a TARDIS. and all they have to do is write her in. That's it. All they have to do is write her in, and they don't have to completely change the entire dynamic of the show, right? Without changing Doctor Who drastically, they could bring in really, really cool time ladies that would have their own TARDISes, would be every bit of what the Doctor is, but they didn't do that. Agreed, the gender fluidity was too much. I just don't respect the woman doctor the way I respect. No, see, it has nothing to do with respect for me. It doesn't have anything to do. Like I said, for me, it's just the fact that I feel like they're making Doctor Who just more complex, just being a little gimmicky. It's honestly, that's just the way it comes off to me. And it's because I'm butthurt because I want to see the really, really cool characters from the past come back. And I don't know why they're avoiding that. That's really, I think, what's getting to me here. Is that they're avoiding doing this really, really cool thing to do this thing that I don't understand why they're doing it. I don't know. It just seems gimmicky, I don't know. It just seems weird. Yeah, David Tennant is awesome. David Tennant is my second favorite. Definitely next to Tom Baker. I love Tom Baker. For me, Tom Baker will always be the Doctor. He is he's the one with the big long scarf, guys, if you're wondering. Tom Baker's the one that always had that huge really, really long scarf. That's Tom Baker. He's still my favorite. He was so funny, so arrogant, so funny, so Tom Baker was great. The Weeping Angels are a very cool thing that came in during the Stephen Moffat era. The Weeping Angels are very cool, very good enemy they came up with there. Like the Pit. Oh, that was a good one, yeah. Erekose for Doctor Who, directed under the name of Dr. Pepper. Now I'm on to something. Everyone say, woo. Erekose, I was kidding about being sexist. Oh, no worries. I expected that. So you at least gave me the segue. So, let's see. If you're in the mood for Columbo, you don't watch Angela Lansbury. Sorry, nothing sexist about it. That's actually a very, very good way to put it, Truth Monster. I mean, that's certainly one way to look at it. And I do love Angela Lansbury and Murder, She Wrote. So I know exactly what you mean. That's that sums it up. That's really well sums. Good job, Truth Monster. Truth Monster, they call you Truth Monster for a reason, obviously. So there you go. Georgia, you changed your name. Didn't want the same name, but no, darling, I meant for myself. It is gimmicky, but for myself, I would like past doctors. I would like past doctors in their events. I feel like it's to pacify people. I remember him. Let's see. Doctor Who shirt. Yep, that's what I'm wearing. Doctor Who. Yeah, I think. Oh, Columbo and Murder, She Wrote are great. Absolutely, I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you, Red Pups. They're both great shows. I love even Matlock. I love Matlock. Agatha Christie. Love Agatha Christie. So I don't think it's a sexist thing. I just don't. I mean, I'm willing to consider it. Maybe I'm being sexist, possibly. I just don't think so. I've gone over it, and really what bothers me about it is I want the really cool time ladies from the past to come back. That's what I want. So, anyways, so I can't believe that the BBC never checked with you first. Ah, Columbo is great. And another thing, yes, right. See, you should contact them and tell them that you will take over. Right? Yeah. Matlock. Yeah, I love Matlock. My grandma and I watched all that. I'm 30, so just a young pup, but I'm an old soul. Yeah, there you go. Moisturize me. Yeah, dude. The bitchy trampoline. What was her name again? I forget. Passion is showing. Oh, well, my mom loved British murder mysteries. Yeah, I mean, they're usually a lot of them are pretty good. And like I said, my dad loved Murder She Wrote, Columbo. Just he loved all that stuff. Matlock, and anything Agatha Christie. My dad was like a dog for a bone. Um, yeah, I love Agatha Christie too. I mean, and even Doctor Who pays homage to Agatha Christie in the David Tennant era, with him and Donna Noble end up meeting Agatha Christie. So that one's a really cool one. Cassandra, that was it. Cassandra. Yep. Good old Cassandra. So, yeah, that's my issue with it. Really, it's not. I just feel like it's. I don't think it's going to be as popular as they think it's going to be, and ultimately, it's just going to be a confusing point in Doctor Who timeline in history. I think in the end, I think that's what it's going to be. I mean, and why are they avoiding bringing back these really, really cool female characters from the past? I mean, why? I don't. That's the part I don't get. That's the thing I'm not understanding, is why are they avoiding that? And then not only are they avoiding it, but to the extent that they're just making the master and the doctor female instead of bringing back some of those really, really cool characters. I don't. For me, I just think it's a bad decision, and I think they could have made a better one. Paul, exterminate. Doctor Who's not on right now. It's on hiatus. There's a I think a season or first season out there right now with the female doctor, the doctor who's female. I haven't seen it yet, honestly, because I've been so busy with Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey, and for the reasons that I've told you all here today, why I'm kind of a little bit peeved with the decision making going on over at Doctor Who right now. Yeah, I just haven't tuned in, haven't felt compelled, or haven't felt really excited to do it. But now that Pom Pom's son, he likes it and stuff, so him and I are going to get together and do a little podcast where him and I talk about Doctor Who, where he's going to be like how much he loves the way the new show is going, and I'm going to be there going, yeah, but I love the way it used to be before they started getting crazy and doing all this gimmicky crap. So it's gonna be new versus old. So that should be interesting and fun, especially for those of you who are Doctor Who fans. So I am looking forward to that with Pom Pom's son. Coming up here probably in like July or so, when Pom Pom moves back near where I live. And Daleks. Can get older ones to watch. Yeah, well, yeah, I would imagine you probably can. You might have to pay for them, or if Amber has a trick of getting around it, maybe. I don't know. But can I have a sonic screwdriver to fix my two? See, I want a sonic screwdriver too. That dude, If I can't have a TARDIS, then I want a sonic screwdriver. I would love to have a sonic screwdriver, even if it doesn't do wood, right? Mom and I have from David Tennant up. Yeah, so David Tennant was a good one. I mean, and Doctor Who got a lot of new, fans in the David Tennant era, and he was brilliant. Like I said, he's easily my second to Tom Baker. He's brilliant. He was brilliant as the Doctor, and I loved it in the Three Doctors when it was Matt Smith and the War Doctor and David Tennant, and just getting to see all of David Tennant's Doctor mannerisms again, and just all that stuff, just all his little quirks as the Doctor again. That was awesome in that episode. I freaking loved that. That is like one of my most favorite, the Three Doctors there. That one is like one of my most favorite episodes of all the New Who. That's saying something, right? That's saying something. Oh, hey, what's up, JB? Yeah, we're talking about Doctor Who, buddy. Mm-hmm. The Three Doc episode made me cry. Yeah, well, I love that episode. That episode is so good. And David Tennant left, I almost couldn't get over it. It took me a long time to accept Max Smith. But it didn't for me. I've been through this already. I know what regeneration means, and I know that I'm going to miss aspects of the Doctor that's leaving, but I'm going to love aspects of the Doctor coming in. And Matt Smith was good. He brought a lot of animation to the role. He really did it justice. Matt Smith was awesome as the Doctor. Was he as good as Tennant? I think he falls a little bit short of Tennant. But he was still good. He was brilliant. And Amy Pond was a very, very cool idea. The way that that first season with her and the cracks and everything. I mean, that was just really good, really well done. Doctor Who was still getting good ideas back then, and they were having good ideas back then. And I kind of felt like when they reached the end of the Matt Smith era, that they were running out of ideas, that they were running on fumes. And although I liked Capaldi because he was a throwback to the old Doctors, his stories were kind of weak. I got to be honest. They were kind of weak. They were okay, I guess, but they were, I don't know. I just didn't feel like they were on caliber with what was going on in the whole David Tennant and Matt Smith era. It just didn't feel right. But so it's almost like this is like some attempt to create buzz or something like that. I mean, that's the way it strikes me. Matt Smith, yeah, fezzes are cool, bow ties are cool. The Tigger Doctor, that's funny. Do you think David Tennant was popular because he had just been on Harry Potter as Barty Crouch? Did Goblet of Fire? I don't think I don't know what the timing is on that, Paul, but maybe. Could be. I discovered he was Barty Crouch Jr. after I knew him as the Doctor. And I wasn't usually very likely to wait very long to watch a new Harry Potter movie. I was pretty quick about it. So, I don't know. It's boring. Oh, where you're at in Knox? Oh, right on, JB. Sorry to hear that, buddy. You think that David Tennant was popular because he just... Oh, yeah. Not for me. I just love Tennant so much. But he's adorable. Nay, sexy. You guarding all the fake money in our reserves. No, it's a little more complex. So, you know, that's basically where I'm at with the current direction of Doctor Who. I just think it's silly. I think I don't know. I just think they're completely warping Doctor Who, and I'm just not sure what they're gaining from it, really. And why? And why are they avoiding bringing back those really, really cool time ladies from the past? Why are they doing that? Those are my questions. Like, that I would like to see answered, honestly. But, so those are my bones to pick with the new direction of Doctor Who. Does anybody have any questions you want to ask me about Doctor Who before we go? Doctor Who and Dr. Pepper. There you go. I'm a pepper. I've seen them all. Well, I've seen most of what's out there. All right. Doctor Who ran for over 30 years in Britain before it was canceled in, I think it was 1988. And then it was brought back in 2003, I think it was, with Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor. If I could go anywhere in time and space, where would you take the TARDIS? Well, the obvious answer to that would be I would go back to one of the places I would go would be this will be interesting for you guys. One of the places I would want to immediately go would be to Avery Salvage on October 31st of 2005. And I would like to observe events and be able to discern what the truth is. Now, I also respect the laws of time and time travel. So, if I did do that, I wouldn't be able. I would honestly keep it to myself, and that may be depressing to some, but that's what I would do if I had a TARDIS or access to a TARDIS. Now, I would also go see a lot of other things. One thing is I would go and find some way to observe Tudor England, Henry VIII's court, the Renaissance in Italy, most likely with the Borgia as Pope, with what's his name, Alexander. I don't know, a lot of things that I'd like to go see, honestly, in the past. But yeah, I wouldn't change a word. If I went back, I wouldn't change anything. I would just observe. That's it. I wouldn't. I respect the laws of time, so I would respect the responsibility of not getting involved. But I would, just for the sake of knowing exactly who was involved, would love to see it. Mm-hmm. Marco Polo or Alexander the Great. Yeah, that would be another one. Actually, is I would want to go back and see Greece and Rome, back in Roman times. That would certainly be one thing. France, revolutionary France, and I'd love to go back and kind of watch, and see and kind of witness the building of Versailles. I think that would be kind of interesting, personally. And then going back in American history, yeah, seeing things like, yeah, Kennedy. That would be an interesting thing to check out. You know, Pompeii. Yeah, make sure you get out. Make sure you get out before the volcano goes, right? Set your volcano clock, as Jack uh, uh, Harkness would say. Jack Harkness. So, but definitely I would want to go and spend some time in Renaissance Italy, Rome, uh, Tudor England. Um I'd like to see, like I said, Versailles building of the, and witness some of the building of it. Um, Ancient Rome, ancient Greece. Maybe even pop over and check out like when gunpowder was um, discovered in China. Way back when, right? That'd be interesting. Uh, yeah, a lot of things. The key to your castle. Yeah, there you go. Bravo. I look forward to more live streams. My ever disobedient child requires some old school parenting. You know what I mean? Thanks for the great time. We'll see you later, Red Pups. And I think we're about ready to sign off anyway. I think I've gone over the reasoning why I feel like the show has kind of lost its way, kind of. But you guys can definitely hear me and Pom Pom Son argue about it in upcoming podcasts sometime after Rally in June. So you guys can look forward to that, and you'll get to hear the other side, the side that doesn't believe what I believe, but actually likes the way the show's going right now. So you get to hear both sides, which is the way I like to do it. Anyways, that's about it for this one, folks. It's lovely having you all here. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see ya.